chance that they could meet up somewhere.
Double reds, maybe even? Double reds, double blues? That might be the story here. And like I mentioned, it might be Taipei Assassins just going for a late invade on the blue buff here. Now we see Fuji backing off from there, and we have Archie showing himself up in the top lane. So it's gonna be Archie facing up against QTV once more up in the top lane, and no lane swap are gonna come into place. But
we'll see a lane swap actually. We do see Lucian.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Lucian wanted to head back to base. I saw Leona recalling for a while, but did not do so. We're going to see Jax run down to this bottom lane, so Lucian should be able to head up to the top lane. Good job by Archie up in the top lane here on Shyvana. Was able to shove this lane into the tower very early on, so he will get the reset of the wave, and also deny an entire wave worth of gold and experience to the AD carry from the Saigon Jokers.
Right, so Dinter now with the blue buff, wanting to make something happen in level 2, but it's not going to happen. And meanwhile, Safety will go for the blue buff of Taipei Assassins at this point of time, and so Dinter will be able to pick up his...
Not there, Dinter. Kill the lizard.
Oh, there we go.
But finally, this is something I wanted Safety to do. I really like what Safety's doing now. First few games, besides the 2 games they won, the 2 games they lost, Safety had no impact on the game whatsoever. He was actually detrimental to his team at times as well.
Oh, now there he goes. The Zenith Blade landing onto Dinter that he had to flash out of the way, and once again, just taking Dinter out in his own jungle. That's very dangerous. And the interesting movement here is that Junie is sharing experience with Safety just right in the jungle camp and leaving Archie to farm for himself.
This feels like they're modifying their version of the double jungle that they played for about 4 weeks straight in the Green Premier League. They played so many of the group stage matches with a double jungle, which worked out well early but never worked out late. It just looks like, and it was Junie and Safety that were doing it as well. Look, they're still doing it. This is a double jungle. It has to be a double jungle.
It is a double jungle indeed, and now Archie moving.
They're going for it. SAJ are pulling out the strategy that they used in their first few games, a double jungle. And the final game of the best of 5 against Azubu Taipei Assassins.
But it might be a risky move here. Now Archie meeting with QTV once again. Now QTV. So this is the never-ending skirmish between these 2 brawlers, I would say. And I don't know, man. It's pretty risky to let Archie farm on himself, but he's not doing too badly. Having his
they just keep swapping lanes. What's going on? Archie's just been running up top. Just keep swapping lanes. Junie's still level 1. What's going on?
I have no idea. I'm quite dumbfounded about what's moving on and what's going on at this point of time. But QTV now, he is pretty much the one to kind of brawl with Archie at this point of time. Optimus in the mid lane, not doing too badly against Morning as well. So once again, these 2 mid laners, they are pretty much on equal standards here. And it's Morning, if he finds the openings, he will go in for the hard engage. And now Archie moving down to the bottom lane, and QTV, I think he wants to go back up into the top lane.
If anything, what this double jungle has done so far is he has had no presence early on in this game. He's done absolutely nothing so far. But still, Junie just hit level 2.
Junie just hit level 2, and Jay is at level 4, so I'm not too sure what. There's a double jungle strategy and how it's been working out for them as well, because if you look across the board, experience-wise, Taipei Assassins, they are leading, and goal-wise, Taipei Assassins, they are leading too, so a very dubious decision coming in from Saigon Jokers at this point of time.
Incredibly strange decisions from them. It's not foreign to see the Saigon Jokers though run a double jungle team competition. It was standard for them for such a long amount of time in the Greener Premier League, but they dropped it after a ton of failed games, and now Junie and Safety just waiting in the splash. And when they did run double jungle, the reason why it's surprising that they're running it now is they always ran 2 heavy damage junglers like a Riven and an Elise. They always both took smite. This time, Junie is playing a support champion, Leona, who can jungle as well, not as effectively, but has not taken smite. And I like this style better, but falling so far behind.
Right, and I think in the sense, in the quarterfinals special when we saw like the Singapore Sentinels Kai Ling when he was playing the Leona pick, when he ran behind it, since that was big trouble for them. And now there we go now, Juni wanting to jump into the fray, he won't flash in to get the Q in, and it does look like they won't actually secure first blood on their end, so double jungle working out.
So if my theory is true for this best of 5, whereby if SAJ can control the flow of the game, oh goodness, Morning's gonna come in here.
Morning just jumps into the fray with the explosive cast. Juni will go down in the process, and now Safety getting dropped down by BB in the process. Double kill for him so far, so one moment of glory and next moment right out of the window.
Thank goodness I didn't go through that, because my theory, if my theory was true, whereby SAJ can control the flow of the game and make plays against the Azubu Taipei Assassins, they'd be able to pick up this game just as they have the previous 2 that they picked up. But with that, that's the first early game play that we've seen from Azubu Taipei Assassins. Aggressive early game play, I believe, in this entire series.
Right, so that was 2 kills as well that went into the favor of BBN. You know, with all these little lane rotations and, you know, lane swaps as well, we do start to see the difference when it comes to CS. Even though QTV is holding his own ground against Archie, but the biggest difference is between both Juni as well as Jay and BB and Archie, in fact, are pretty different when it comes to the CS advantage as well. So now BB sitting at a comfortable 60 CS compared to Archie, who has 1 kill nevertheless.
Archie going onto Jay here. Stun could potentially come out, and the spotlight is it. Jay's gonna die.
Right, Jay did with the combined efforts of both Safety as well as Juni, just locking him down with the crowd control lock as well. So they have dedicated quite a lot of efforts to try to take him down, but nevertheless, I think they are playing it still relatively well, but they really need to get Juni, they really need to get Archie rolling here, because BB is just so comfortable at this point of time. 20 CS loaded and 1 left to pick up the Sheen as well, so there will be 1 huge power spike once he gets the Trim force out.
So what I like about this double jungle, that we can call a double jungle maybe, well, this early support assisting the jungle coming up from Saigon Jokers, kind of a modified double jungle that they ran early on in the Greener Premier League, is that Juni doesn't have to scale on levels or gold. Previously they used to use jungles that had to scale off of gold and experience. Juni doesn't. Not. Juni just has to hit level 6, say I press R and I win.
Press R and win, man, definitely.
And with that, he doesn't have to be as high of a level as a regular jungler, and does not need the gold that a regular jungler will require. And that gives a little bit more leeway for him to fall behind.
And I think the big difference here as well is that we do see Saigon Jokers moving around the lanes more than ever, and I think because of that we start to see Taipei Assassins, because they are just sitting comfortably in their own lanes, they are starting to come ahead in terms of experience. Now we do see Archie, even though he's on even levels with QTV at this point of time, Winter has a lot of free reign in the jungle. He's now 1 level ahead. This might make the difference, and now Morning is right around the corner, and QTV will jump into the frame with the counter strike. He will lock Archie up, and Archie will just fly right out with the Dagger's Descent, and he will pick up Safety on the way out as well. So very good awareness coming from Taipei Assassins. They knew for a fact that Saigon Jokers were gonna collapse on them, and quick response from Morning will secure that counter kill for themselves.
Sloppy fight coming out from the Saigon Jokers, I believe there. I felt like the ultimate coming up from Orion, the command shockwave was really rushed in that fight. They could have been a bit more patient. Winter is not a very tanky man. He's fairly squishy, only has that Spirit Stone right now.
Down, there we go. Jay will lock Archie down into place with the death sentence, but at this point of time, the Bishop Barrage not able to take him down as well, but he is dropped fairly low. Might see him back away from this lane here, as he does. So probably no, he's just gonna stay around with the pot to regen himself back up.
So the Leona picker here is really just not working out so much for Saigon Jokers right now. I mean, just look at the minion score and the kills that are on the AD carries right now. BB is really zoning Saigon Jokers bottom lane with the help of Jay incredibly well as well.
That's right, so this might come to hurt Saigon Jokers later on, even though like we always mention Lucian is pretty good on this patch, very good on the treatment patch, but if you get any marksman rolling, then it's definitely going to pose a threat no matter how, you know, overpowered a certain champion might. See to look at the point of time.
Just gonna see what Saigon Jokers are gonna do here. Right now they're letting Azubu type assassins do what they want to do. They're letting Azubu TPA control the flow of the game once again and take the objectives they want to take, not forcing anything, which they did in the 2 games they won. So we're gonna have to see if they do decide to try anything to try and force objectives against Azubu TPA.
Alright, so with BB actually going back there, not going back there, having that 2 kills advantage, he is actually finished up the Sheen and looking to finish up that Phage as well. Sorry. And it does look like, even though Archie has picked up his own Sheen, might take some time for him to try to upskill BB in the process, and might be a potential gank coming in from Dinter, but at the same time the other focus is up in the top lane where Archie having free reign all the time, so close to a good 20 CS advantage over QTV at this point in time. And it's like you mentioned, even though QTV can play Jax relatively well, he is just unable to outclass Archie up in the top lane, as shown in game number 3.
See what these 2 teams decide to do next. TPA doing what they always do, taking it very, very slow once again. QTV, we saw this matchup before, and the only time we've seen the Jax beat out the Shyvana from the top lane in the specify when Archie was playing Jax and QTV was playing Shyvana, and great ganks coming in from Dinter were enough to allow him to snowball, so to speak. But right now QTV is getting no help at all. He's left there on an island by himself to do absolutely nothing but farm.
So top lane is pretty much the lonely island for the top laners here, and I think it will come down to a point where Taipei Assassins recognize the need that they have pushed through the limits, and then after that they will try to help Archie in the process. But at this point of time, Dinter, even though he is having that Sinjao pick for himself, he has not really shown the presence of the lane, so it's just purely the laners of Taipei Assassins really asserting the dominance over Saigon Jokers at this point of time.
So still very quiet between the 2 teams, only 30 minutes into the game. The Azubu Taipei Assassins about 2,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers.
Right, so now QB having some free time up in the top lane now. He might want to start bringing this CS advantage back to his own right, but Optimus as well in the mid lane, so very quiet for both teams here. It does look like the early stages where the junglers want to kind of show their faces around the lane. Over, and because of that, I feel that because Taipei Assassins, they still have that 1 turret advantage, Archie will be able to somewhat have free reign up in the top lane, and if Saigon Jokers safety wants to respond to that, then I think the entire squad of Taipei Assassins, everyone else will make something else happen in another lane.
He is still climbing up in the top lane. TPA are trying for this Dragon pickup. Jay here takes a lot of damage from Dragon there. Rest of the Azubu TPA are trying to group up to try and take off this Dragon, but good poke coming out from Orion is enough to keep Morning down by a little bit of health there. We saw that Jay was incredibly low from tanking a few mouthfuls of back there.
I think the reason why both teams are playing so cautiously at this point is precisely because they recognize that it is game number 5. One small mistake could just result in this giant snowball that hits them right back into the track. So I think because of that, both teams want to make cautious decisions, and I think this might be the first big play from Taipei Assassins should they choose to go for the Dragon pickup. And it does look like they are trying to go for a rather sneaky strategy, but the ward will be able to spot them out in the meantime. So would Saigon Jokers actually jump into the fray? So everyone is just waiting around the corner.
Patient. Both teams are incredibly patient on this right now.
Oh, and now Morning gets jumped off with the cocoon as well, so taking some damage on this. Oh my god, and look at that damage coming in from the Mystic Shot. And that's gonna be hurtful for Saigon Jokers, because look at BB now, he has completed the Trinity Force already. 15 minutes Trinity Force. He's gonna be putting a lot of poke damage onto the side of Saigon Jokers, and because of that, Taipei Assassins, they are able to pick out the mid lane turret for themselves. So like you said earlier, slow and steady is the name for Taipei Assassins.
There's a nice rotation coming in from the Taipei Assassins as well. We saw they faked the Dragon right there.
Fake the Dragon, man.
Faked the Dragon pickup. They grouped up as 5. It looked like they were gonna go for a Dragon pickup, and instead use 2 of their members to push down mid lane, picking up a tower from themselves with no contest coming in from the Saigon Jokers.
That's right, so I think it is a ticking time bomb for Saigon Jokers. They really need to kind of respond to this, and now Junie taking a whole chunk of damage. Junie has to flash out of the way, not gonna hit any side of the walls at all, but you know, Taipei Assassins managed to force a summoner spell out of Saigon Jokers bottom lane, and now Junta doing work onto Dragon at this point of time. And with Saigon Jokers not really around the area, they might not be able to respond to this in time. Like, the solar flare is not going to be able to take away the Dragon in the process, and now the calling comes in for Archie, and Jay looks like he will go down in the process, so leveling the kill count again. 3 is 3, but you know, Taipei Assassins, they have picked up Dragon in the process, once again extending the goal lead to about 4,000.
And just looking at the item differences between the AD carries, it's just brutal. Trinity Force to a Sheen and a Pamphlet Scepter is very brutal item difference between the two. They will not be dueling anytime soon, because Lucian will be absolutely dead. Fascinating in a 1-1 matchup against Azrael.
But it's purely because of the fact that Archie and QTV went out for this. Really do this lane rotations right from level 1, and because of that, I feel like they lost out on some of the waves and the CS, and because of that, they are suffering for it right now. Up the Trinity Force, he will be the big threat. And once again, looking at Archie going for somewhat a very strange item choice here. Instead of finishing up the Trinity Force, he will choose to go ahead and buy that BF sword, looking to finish up the Bloodthirster, it seems. And I'm not too sure what the rationale behind this is, because you really want to finish up the Trinity Force Trinity Force first to maximize your damage output in your spell rotations, but I guess he wanted the early Bloodthirster so that he can have enough damage to try to repel away Taipei Assassins.
again. Archie doing what he's been doing every single game of this best of 5, just staying at the top lane. As you see, Dinter went for a gank up the top lane, tried to knock PDV out of lane, not able to do so, just going to take a tower instead.
Right, so Taipei Assassins once again slowly and steadily building their objective advantage, 3-0 in terms of their advantage now. And you know, it does look like it's going to be going their way in this one because Saigon Jokers, they are not forcing any team fights and they're not finding the pick that they want. They are not finding the fights that they want, and because of the really weird and awkward lane swap that they did at level 1, they are now suffering for it, and he might actually go for the solar plan. He does go in with the Zenith Flare as well, and finally it does look like Dinter might actually go down the process. The Cocoon will land as well, and now finally Safety takes a kill for himself against Dinter. So, you know, finding the pick that they want, but in the meantime, BB was given free rein down the bottom lane, so taking another objective as well. So 1 kill for an objective, I don't think that was a worthwhile trade at all.
AZB TPA are about 6,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers right now. That's very nice gold lead for them to sit on for now. As we said before, once they hit about 8 to 10,000 gold advantage ahead of the Saigon Jokers in about 30 minutes into the game, they should go for a Baron pickup most likely.
And now Junior getting called out with the play and the box as well, and with the amount of damage coming in from BB with the true shot barrage and following that up easily, and that would just set the killing spree for BB there. As now we do see Taipei Assassins, they are looking to take out this bottom lane inhibitor, and with this 3-man push they might be able to do it, but Saigon Jokers, they are collapsing down onto bottom lane fast, as they will just be back
TPA once again, they're taking this very slow. You can already see the split push coming in from them. 3 members at the bottom lane trying to pick off that tower, and 2 in the mid lane also trying to pick off that mid lane inner turret. Dinter hasn't had much impact on the game, but he's been farming up quite nicely in the jungle, making his presence felt in certain places just to get objectives, but not forcing fights, not going for ganks onto the lanes of the Saigon Jokers. And meanwhile, Safety, this is the first game that you can really see he's really trying to help out the lanes and the rest of his teammates, but he's just not getting the ganks and the picked off that he needs.
And it's also due to the fact that because Taipei Assassins, even though they have members going down maybe up at the top lane, they'll make something else happen in another lane. Like we've seen before, one member goes down, they take a turret in response. One member goes down, they take a dragon in response, and it has worked out pretty well for them in this aspect. And Dragon will be coming up soon in close to 2 minutes time, and I guess Taipei Assassins will be looking to go onto the Dragon Pit once again.
See up in the top lane as well. This Saigon Jokers team is really going for a lot of pieces builds, I would call it. I mean, Trinity Force not trying to be completed by Jax. He went for the Bilgewater Cutlass after a Phage and a Sheen. Lucian also went for the BT right after a Sheen. I'm not sure why they would not want to upgrade their items to get the maximum potential out of those upgrade items.
Right, it's a very
interesting.
Yeah, very, I guess very unorthodox, but it has not really proved to work out for them at this point of time. And I think the thing about Saigon Jokers at this point of time is that they really need to make something happen once again. they kind of need to extend their ward line, make sure that they know what Hyper Assassins are trying to do, and then subsequently, you know, find the right picks, go for the right calls, and hopefully get a few kills out of there, and then translate that into objectives.
Azubu TPA still taking it so slow. They're about 7,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers, and there you go, slowly creeping up in terms of that gold lead, slowly extending it. In a few minutes, we should see them hit about 8 to 10,000 gold if the Saigon Jokers don't do anything to retaliate to them, slowly getting a gold advantage ahead of them. And you can already see just the 80 carries. The difference in gold is so vast. The 80 carries in the top laners have a huge difference in terms of gold.
So at this point in time, Taipei Assassins are just purely winning on the fact that they have superior objective control. As well as the fact that both Archie and BB have been outfarming their counterparts by a good 70 or at least 60 CS.
And Dragon's up. Straight away, as soon as Dragon respawns once again, Azubu Taipei Assassins are there. As soon as they gain control of the flow of the game, all they do is camp these objectives, split up around the map, and take them one by one. And every time they've done this, every single game that Azubu Taipei Assassins have done this, Saigon Jokers do not retaliate. They just let them take the objective. They have not done anything at all to stop them from doing this.
So I wonder what happens, and which is the tipping point that Taipei Assassins will actually choose to go for a team fight, or at least a skirmish, because like you mentioned, they're not very violent people.
I would say 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes and it's done. 5 minutes or 10 thousand gold and they will do it.
That might happen, or they might actually choose to go for the Baron, and that might be the starting point for them as they start to gather around the Baron pit.
Same thing they've done every game is they always make sure that the Baron is being dewarded for a lengthy amount of time, so that when they do it and eventually go through the Baron, it'd be a very surprise move coming out from the Azubu Taipei Assassin. They will always want SAJ to be on the back foot. They want them to regroup to try and defend the Baron. See, actually, BB and J is very sneaky about it.
Oh man. Baron attempt, but it's not going to be doing too much for them, and actually we do see BB taking a whole lot of damage out of that one, as we do see now Archie collapsing onto safety in the meanwhile, and Archie is so tanky, but he might actually go down in the process, and Archie has to crash out of that one. Team TV now joins the fray. He wants to get in on some action here, but meantime morning now, with all this distraction, he might take away the blue buff from Saigon Jokers once more.
What? Oh, morning? Good morning, morning. Need to throw your barrel in the opposite direction to hit blue buff. So he's going to go down bot lane to get some farm. There, so you do see Optimus was able to pick up the blue buff for himself. Let's play out this pink ward, the Azubu Taipei Assassin. Will, they are 8,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers. See, the gold is slowly getting more and more drastic. It's now 8,000. It was 6,000 2 minutes ago, and 1,000 a minute ago. 7,000 a minute ago.
Right, and we do see all those gold translating into items now. Archie finished up the Blade of the Roaring King, and for BB finishing up the Bloodthirster as well. So even more potential. Hitting with the Mystic shots as well. Morning finishing up the Death Cap, so a lot more burst damage on his own end, and for Dinter finishing up the Ancient Golem as well as lots of mobility, so he'll be able to move around the map a lot faster than he wants to.
If TPA pick up this game, then every single game today would have been won on blue side. Every single game would have been won by the team that has first pick and blue side. And
yeah,
just watch how.
Oh, you're right about that.
If they go for Baron here, watch how they'll get over this pit. Oh, he's not going to do it. Jay's not going to use the depth standards that move to Dark Passage to get over there.
You think he'll go over that? Now that. There we go with the engage, and Dinto will actually be the first one to be called out. Explosive cost goes down as well. QTV big drop down extremely low. Archie will pick up that kill on himself, and Dinto on the hunt now. He will try to catch up to safety in the meanwhile, but there is already one kill being on the own, and now BB together with Archie will jump into the fray and look at the amount of damage on the true shot barrage, and now Archie not gonna be delivering the ball onto the side of Optimus there, so BB will pick out the kill on the top lane in the meantime. So Junior will go down the process. Now 2 members down on the side of Saigon Jokers.
Huge mistake for Saigon Jokers. And I thought that they were going to go for a sneaky Baron attempt, whereby they would use Jay to use the Dark Passage and Death Sentence to jump over with the Body Slam, Arcane Shift of Ezreal, and also either Dinter or Archie taking the Dark Passage. But then again, what they did was they walked around the Baron pit and then jumped over the Baron pit to get a sneaky engage off of the Azubu Taipei assassins. They were really not expecting that.
I think it's pretty much mind games being built up in this battle. Series as well, because I think Saigon Jokers, they recognized a pattern of what Taipei assassins they are doing. Like they would go for this 25 to 26 minute marks. Baron, and because of that they wanted to go contest for it, but instead it was a huge bait being laid out for Taipei assassins, and they were able to pick up that 2 kills in succession.
I have a feeling once this gold count hits 10,000 gold in the favor of the Azubu Taipei assassins, that's when they will try to go for their sneaky play once again. Optimus with some good damage down to the center. Poking out a little bit.
It's not too concerned in spawn time though, and actually now we do see Saigon Jokers, they are the ones gathering up to try to make something happen now in the mid lane, but you might see Archie actually try line them with the Dragon as well. And now True Shot Barrage and Morning just separating everyone with the explosive cast, and Dinter getting called out actually, and now Archie picks up the kill with the culling, so that engage actually went in the favor of Saigon Jokers, and because of that we might see BB try to give chase onto this one, but Saigon Jokers know that that was the best outcome that they could try to go for, and they back up to that one. But would Taipei assassins actually go for Baron in this exchange? So if they manage to do so, then it will be a pretty worthwhile trade, but I guess they weighed the consequences. They knew that it's not the best choice to go for, and does look like Julie will be caught out by BB there, and a very good combination from Jay and BB will be able to take him out in the process.
So was it eventually an even trade between the two teams here? I mean, good outcome for the Saigon Jokers, but just not enough for them to catch up to this almost 9,000 gold lead in advantage to the Taipei assassins. And fortunate for Juni as well to be caught out in that situation. Saigon Jokers looked good in that fight. They were flanked by Morning, but BB was not at the start of the fight. The only thing he did in that fight was help Jay chase down Juni.
In the meantime, we do see Jay getting caught out by QTV there, so he will secure his first kill in the game, and hopefully that gets him rolling. And safely throws down the cocoon onto BB, and everyone will be disengaging from the jungle of Saigon Jokers. So I think Saigon Jokers, they are making some progress with this one. They are slowly finding the picks that they want, and hopefully if they manage to drag the game out much further than what Taipei Assassins won, then I think QTV's late game potential will start to show here, as Winter, you know, he's playing that Sinjao, and the thing about Sinjao is that you have great early game momentum, but once it comes to the mid and late game stage, you start to fall off. And hopefully Saigon Jokers, what they need to do now is do what they are doing at this point in time, find the picks that they want, and then slowly drag out the game for themselves. They have lost four turrets in a row, but if they can stop the bleeding, anything could still happen for them.
They're trying their hardest to make the plays once again, but I still feel SAJ have done it way too late. They needed to do what they did in the 2 games they did pick up and start from the beginning of the game, start forcing Azubu TPA into these awkward positions. And TPA once again, Dragon just respawned about 30 seconds ago, and instantly, let's pick it up. Let's get another objective, and now they're almost 10,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers.
Ooh, and now Morning together with Morning will be able to get over the wall together with Winter with Dark Passage as well. And it does look like once again Archie being that split pushing menace that Saigon Jokers absolutely hate. It does look like Taipei Assassins might go for Baron now, because they know the position of safety in the meantime. Or will it be another bait once more?
30-minute Baron, there it is. Once again. They are 10,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers. 30-minute mark came around.
Oh, there we go. Judy will get melted down just instantaneously and be shut down, being picked up by Jay in the process. So 5-3 in terms of numbers here. It does look like Taipei Assassins will want to pick up the Baron here, but safety and Optimus still around the area, and if he can get one good shot within, then he might actually secure the kill in that one. And there we go now. Actually, ETV jumping to the fray, and Dinter being caught out really low, and there we go with this shockwave as well. Optimus will take away Dinter in the meantime, but it does look like BB has enough damage to finish off the Baron, and with both safety and QTV going down to the wall here, does look like it's going to be the ace for Azubu TPA here, and actually Jun just respawned. That's not going to be the ace, but multiple members went down in the process. So 12-7 in terms of kill count here, and having the Baron buff as well. It does look like Taipei Assassins are looking to be in the position to push this in for the win.
Once again, Chris, 10,000 gold advantage, 30 minutes in. Baron time. TPA Baron time. You see the explosive cast come out. Judy now, separate from his team. He's going to flash into the safety of his tower, but it's not very safe for him. He's going to face back into his tower. He says, hi guys, I'm going to come and die to you guys.
So that's going to be one more kill being secured on the end of Taipei Assassins, and you know, surprisingly they did not pick up the mid lane inhibitor, but having that commanding Baron advantage as well does look like what they need to do is just march into the base of Saigon Jokers and then eventually picking up the objective for themselves.
So we're going to go into a replay there of that Baron fight. You're going to see Dinter tries to jump in onto QTV, does not get the knockup. He's going to get taken down by Optimus in a second. He extends way too far, and it's Archie and BB are trying to take down this Baron. Safety could have gone in there, but did not have any vision of the Baron. So this is going to get taken down here. Baron's going to get taken by Azubu TPA Assassins here, and then they're going to turn in onto the Saigon Jokers. So Jazz jumps really high in the air thanks to Barrett and just awkwardly strikes somebody on the top of their head. Safety is going to get taken down in awkward position. Flash is on top of the box. Beautiful mechanics coming out there. And now Optimus, he's going to get bursted down by Azubu Taipei.
I really love the high jump coming in from QTV there.
High jump.
Launched.
He did a Mario. He high jumped and then just bonked somebody on the top of their head and just said, I'm an annoying person.
Right, it does look like that's the way for him there. And we are right back into this game with Taipei Assassins still having that barrel advantage on themselves. It does look like, even though they have that advantage, they are still pushing in slowly and steadily. They don't want to risk too much.
It's exactly
in the entire process.
Sounds exactly like the Azubu Taipei Assassins at the moment.
Slowly and steadily.
Slowly. Yeah, we've got 50,000 gold advantage, but this is, you know,
but they do not know that. They don't know that they have that.
They don't know that, but yeah. I kind of assume when every game we've gone for this 30-minute Baron at the same amount of gold that you had when the previous game we went for Baron, it's kind of puzzling, but still, these two teams are really close in this best of 5 series, and they have been in the entire Greener Premier League and other tournaments in this 2014 season, not to mention the 2-0 victory that SAJ had against AZB TPA in the IEM Intel Extreme Masters, and the 2-0 victory Azubu Taipei Assassins had against SAJ in the Greener Premier League group stage. TPA look really strong in this game. SAJ really doesn't look like there's much they can do against the Azubu Taipei Assassins. They have to have a freak team fight whereby they take down both BB and Morning before they can even press QWER.
And looking at BB at this point in time, he's 8-0-4. Immortal, hasn't died once, and Morning himself as well, haven't died once. 0-0-10. Supportive player Morning for the win.
We'll play Morning, so they can actually go for this turret here. There's the fight.
And there we go with this solar flare. QTV thinking of jumping into the frame.
Nothing happens.
Right, nothing happens because the Talisman of Ascension was caught by Taipei Assassins, and Saigon Jokers decided that was not the fight that they wanted to go for. But they have to do something fast
they're
because
still splitting up. TPA is still splitting up. They're almost 20,000 gold ahead of the Saigon Jokers. They're still splitting. They say, Archie, you're not a part of this team. Go to another lane. You don't belong with us.
The outcasted top dragon there. There we go now. Dinko taking actually a whole lot of damage out of that one. The Crescent Speed will actually keep everyone away from him. And now Archie, with the amount of health he has, will survive that one. And for Morning. And now there we go with the triple kill for Morning in the meantime, and City will drop right back into the arms of BB, and BB is now legendary. And
with Morning deleted 3 people from the map, bro. He just went, gone, you're not playing League Legends anymore. You're out, just Alt F4, this game's not yours now.
So with Taipei Assassins now pounding on to the next turn, and actually Archie picking out Jay in the process. I think he just went down to the minions if I'm not too wrong there, and yeah, just
slow and steady wins the race. Remember, this is Azubu Taipei Assassins. We have 21,000 gold advantage, but we are gonna wait. We're gonna be very slow and methodically win this game. Which it's how they won the past 3 games in this best of 5. They slowly pushed up against the Saigon Jokers, very, very slowly. I think for SAJ to win this game right now after being 20,000 gold behind, BB needs to sell his items to become a tank. then maybe SAJ can pick up this game.
Maybe 6 Warmonks Ezreal?
Yeah, 6 Warmonks Ezreal. I think maybe then SAJ can win the game. Actually, maybe not even then.
6 Warmonks Ezreal? I would love to see that happen. That is a play bad, but in the meantime, Dragon is up alive and Baron is up in 1 minute and 35 seconds, and it does look like Taipei Assassins might just be waiting for their Baron buff to come back up and then take that for themselves and then finally push in for the victory.
By then they'll have about 50,000 gold in their advantage.
Right, so at this point of time, 21,000 in their favor. It looks like an immense amount of gold for Saigon Jokers to try to climb back, but it does look like Taipei Assassins pretty much have it in the bag.
It really doesn't. I want to try and find something that the Saigon Jokers can do in this game to come back against the Azubu Taipei Assassins, but it's just so hard. They're going to try and jump onto Jay here.
And Jay now taking a whole chunk of damage, but BB is just right around the corner to respond to that. Solar Flare comes down to Jay there. QTV will jump in with the counter strike and pick up Winter in the meantime, and Archie picks up the kill. And Archie jumps into the frame with the Dragon's Descent. Shockwave will not actually hit anyone in the process. Optimus now finding a whole lot of trouble there, and that's going to be 1 more kill on the side of Taipei Assassins. Double kill for Archie and double kill for BB. It's going to be 4 members down on the side of Saigon Jokers, and Taipei Assassins now finding the fight that they want. It does look like everyone will just gather into the base of Saigon Jokers. It does look like second Nexus turret is finally going to go down in the process, and all that is left for Taipei Assassins to go to the grand finals is Archie and the Nexus as well. It's going to be the ace for Taipei Assassins. GG, well played. They come out ahead of this best of 5 series in a